What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This week is our last week of good weather probably here in Canada, or at least where I am. So we are taking these Redfoot tortoises to play outside. It's gonna be their first experience. So let's see how they do and what they do. I'm Andrew Edwards. I've spent most of my life learning about animals. And now, focusing on education, breeding, care, and the discovering of new animals. Welcome to Andrew's Reptile Arc. So we're taking the Redfoots out today because they're a bit more active. You can see they're a little hungry. But they're a little bit more active than the leopards are in here. So we're really gonna see how they do outside. We haven't really took them outside at all. We're really letting them relax in their environment. And they're very friendly, so we feel like it's okay to take them outside, give them a chance to explore a little bit more. Next summer is really when we're gonna take them outside a lot more. So we're gonna see how that works today. So for the newer viewers, this is Littlefoot, Bronco, and Rocky is right here. And it just looks like they are eating. What, I don't really know what that is, but and tortoises are pretty much always hungry, so they're just eating.
Okay, lay down.
Grass is completely fine for these guys to eat, and it is feeding day, so this is their first experience actually eating grass. Coda right here. So this is kind of their first experience, so we don't really know how they're going to react. Obviously, eating is a good sign.
Where's your ball?
So like we said, sometimes some animals are a little bit more adventurous than others. So some of them are going to eat fairly quickly because they're a lot more comfortable. You can see Rocky right here is not really eating. He's really just assessing his environment. Now, Redfoots are one of the best pet tortoises you can actually own. They do have very good personalities. They do come up to you when you enter the area or their cage. And they're very unlikely to bite, as with most tortoises. They kind of hide under their shell as opposed to actually attacking. Now, Littlefoot is actually a cherryhead, which is a subspecies of tortoise, or redfoot tortoise. Because you can see the difference in color head versus Bronco or Littlefoot, or Bronco or Rocky, that have more of a yellowy head. Now they are fairly used to the camera. I have been filming with them for a little bit now. And Redfoots are from a tropical environment, so they do like high humidity, as opposed to the leopards. When they get older, they won't like as high of humidity. These guys like it around the 60 to 80% range, depending on what size they are. Adults can handle a little bit less humidity than the babies can. They like it more humid. That's why we have them in the enclosed area, so we can keep the humidity a little bit higher. But we don't have them in there like you saw earlier in the video, because actually Toothless is there right now while we're redesigning his cage a little bit. And red-foot tortoises will get to about a foot in shell length. So like we said, this size right here. So a foot, that's pretty big for a tortoise in your house. So they'll require a little bit of room. And there goes Coda. Little foot, go this way. Now actually, well, he's not that excited, but Coda does like spending time with these guys. He just really watches them. It's actually really funny to watch him just sit there and enjoy being with them. So yeah, these guys will really spend most of their day eating. A lot of people think tortoises don't move around that much. These guys actually spend a lot of their day moving. They are very curious animals, so they do spend a lot of their time walking around, exploring, trying to find food, obviously. You can see him, or you did see him, using his foot to push down the grass, and they actually use their feet as hands to pull off smaller chunks. Now redfoots, unlike leopards, are omnivorous, which means they eat like small insects and stuff like that, as well as plant matter. So these guys actually can find slugs, worms, crickets, and they'll eat those as well as part of their main diet. Obviously it's not that big of a diet in comparison to, or a big section of their diet as opposed to plant matter, but about 15 to 20% of their diet is actually made up of this. So we do offer them freeze-dried superworms, mealworms, crickets, stuff like that. So you can see Rocky is now eating a little bit. So he is a little bit more comfortable now. And the more we come out here, the more they'll like to explore, because they do feel more safe after a while. You can see on Rocky right here how the shell is kind of deformed as opposed to this shell. And this is just cosmetic. There's nothing wrong with the animal. It's just an irregular shell pattern, which some people actually really like and some people don't. So it's really up to you and whether you like that part of the animal shell or the carapace. But it's actually pretty interesting because it's different here and there as opposed to this one. This is more of a perfect shell, as they would call it, and this is more of the irregular shell at the back. Sometimes they can have irregular shells up here, but it really depends on how the animal comes out of the egg. You will never have a perfect shell. You can see how tame they are and calm. Some people keep these guys outside all year, but that's really the lower states can do this. Up here in Canada, we really can't keep them out all year round, obviously. These guys can really only tolerate about maybe high 60s before it becomes a problem. And even that is kind of cold for these guys. You want that to warm up as the day goes on. But if the whole day was high 60s, that wouldn't be a good thing at all. So you can see them mainly eating the weeds, and that's completely fine. Unless you're spraying for pesticides, which we don't do here anyway. So we're kind of thinking about building an outdoor pen for them, so this summer we don't have to worry about predators like we talked about when I brought Bowser out here. So predators don't really grab them. Rats can't attack them or anything like that. Skunks, possums, your normal outdoor animals. So we're kind of thinking about grading that's about 1/4 of an inch, so that really eliminates a lot of the animals that can come in here. Mainly birds feed on these guys, so we don't want birds or predators of any kind to come down and grab them. You can see that Bronco and Bronco and Littlefoot are a bit more curious. They're a bit older than Rocky is. You can see the size difference. I just don't want him to go onto the fence over there. Now, the cherry heads will get a little bit smaller than their redfoot cousins. They're a subspecies, but they're a bit smaller of a tortoise than the redfoots are. Just move him over here. You can see if they are curious and they get locked on something in their head kind of thing, they do want to explore it more and more. Now we're not just going to bring the redfoots out here. The leopards will come out here a lot more often. I think the leopards, since they grow a lot bigger, will give them a bigger space out here so that they can actually stretch their legs a little bit more. See him digging in a hole over there. I really like Bronco's color. It's a lot brighter than the other two. And again, that's just based on the individual. It really doesn't matter. I don't know what that noise was. But yeah, it really doesn't affect the individual. It's just basically hair color in humans. So we're not going to have them out here too long. We do want this to be a short first experience, well, a good first experience. And the fact that they're eating is perfectly fine. It is a good experience. If they were stressed, they wouldn't really eat, they wouldn't really move. So that is a good sign. And we could also bring the turtles out as well. We have this kind of pool that we have used for them. Where are you going? So yeah, I think that's it for the video. It's a nice short one for you guys. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Coda wanted to come say hi, apparently. And you can check out our other channels, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.